How are you guys doing? This is an 80s MY1803 watch. I got this watch off AliExpress for under $20. Can't get the 1803 watch exactly like this anymore, but you can still get an 1803 watch. The water resistance is 100 feet, 30 meters. It's not very water resistant. It's not really a diver's watch, of course, but it's got a nice thickness of 10 millimeters, which is pretty good. It's got an alloy case with IP plating, and it's very good. The case is very good for an alloy case. No sharp edges, and it's very scratch resistant too, I found. It's got a push-pull crown. The push-pull crown works good, and I think a good working push-pull crown is better than a screw-in crown that's not working right, that's for sure. It's got a functional bezel, and it's not really made for bezel turners, of course, but it's still functional. It has backplay and stuff, but it still works. The bezel diameter is 38 millimeters, and it's a good size watch. Like, you can see the hand's good. It's gray. It's kind of a shiny gray color, but you can see it good. It's got a mineral crystal. And these AliExpress watches, they don't really put thick crystals on these watches. And that's what I like to see on these watches, is thicker crystals, which they never seem to put on. They have like thin acrylic crystals and thin mineral crystals, but a thicker crystal would be nice. The diameter including the crown is 42 millimeters. The movement is a Miyota 2115 movement, and it's a good movement. It's got a battery life of 3 years too, and I think a 2115 is just one of their cheaper movements, but it seems to work good. It's got a snap-on stainless steel back, and it seems to work okay. There's nothing really fancy about this watch. It doesn't have all these like premium type features, but why would you want all these premium type features if they're not working right? You know, you can we'll get watches like with really sharp edges and stuff that screws in that doesn't even work right, and this watch seems to be working good. It might not have premium features, but it really works good, everything it does have. And it's not too bad a looking watch either. Like the indices seem to have a little bit of frame around it, and then it's filled in full of luminescence, a little bit of luminescence. And I like how the minute hand kind of comes out a little bit. You can kind of see how it kind of widens at the end of it. It's long hand, which is good. And I think it's pretty good for a cheap watch. It's very good. And the strap, it comes with a strap. And this NATO strap, it doesn't have any sharp edges, and it's got like a long, generous length to it. And I think the NATO strap is the way to go with these things. It'd be better than a stainless steel strap or a strap that's got sharp edges and it's not comfortable or anything, but this strap is good. So I think this is the way to go, really, if you want a cheap watch. It's even got the date indicator too. The date indicator has a little frame around it that's similar to the frame around the little indices, which is kind of a nice touch. It's got a magnification on it too, which is pretty good for a cheap watch to have a magnification on your date indicator. With these kind of watches, you're not going to get overly impressive luminescence, but it still does have a luminescence on the indices, a little bit on the indices, and the hands do have a little bit of luminescence, which is pretty good for a watch like this. I like how the NATO strap goes, like, it lifts up the watch a little bit, makes it a little bit thicker underneath, because that prevents the crown from dragging on your wrist. And myself, I don't like when the crown drags on your wrist. I don't like that. Maybe some people wouldn't have effect of that. No effect to have that, the crown dragging on the wrist, but myself, I don't like that. I did this watch in such a way to show you guys like different lighting conditions and show you how the crown shows up in different lighting conditions and try to give you a variety. And I think that's the better way to really express a watch, rather than just having a studio with all these fixed like lighting and stuff. It's perfect lighting. Like, why not just show you in natural light how it really looks, and you'll see how the watch works when you have it out in your natural environment and you're using your watch in real life. You'll see how it's working and stuff, and I think that's the way to do it. And oh yeah, the bezel too does have a lume pip on it. Imagine that, eh? The bezel does have a lume part there, but that's not bad. But this watch, what it does have, it does work, so that's good. Like, it doesn't have all these premium features, but it does work, and There's nothing here that's really crappy made for a watch. It's just got minimal features, but they all work good, so it's not too bad a watch, and just wanted to show you guys how this watch was. I guess you guys could say this is a homage of a famous brand of watch. And it does have the crown guards too. Push-pull crown and crown guards. And the crown guards are okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Towards the end of the video you will see the luminescence. I got all that in the end of the video. And you'll see how that goes, and well, it's not bad for a cheap watch really. When you do go to turn the bezel, it doesn't have sharp edges on the edges of the bezel. Some people will complain like the bezel has really sharp edges. In this bezel, the edges are made really nice. It really works nice on your hands. It feels nice and doesn't have no sharpness. Your hands don't bleed when you try to turn the bezel. So that's not too bad for a watch that's really not made for bezel turners, but it's still something. You can still buy an 1803 addies watch on AliExpress, but you will find that the indices are different and it has a stainless steel bracelet. That's the only differences you'll find with it. I've had Miyota quartz movements in my watches before, and they work for many years and problem-free movements.